Recently, Yated Ne'eman ran a 3-page in-depth analysis of how the religious status quo in Israel was destroyed by one man. And anybody wants to make a guess at who that one man is?
Popero.
Huh?
Popero.
The high priest. Huh? The high priest. The high priest Aaron Barak of the president of the Supreme Court of Israel, which has been the spearhead of legitimizing everything that is against Am Yisrael and delegitimizing everything that is for Am Yisrael. And it is watching this in front of our eyes, watching the Hamalchus Nefach Leminus, that the government turns to atheism and all this, that softened us all up to it, Nachman. Yes.
It says in Tanya that a person has to struggle his whole life, and maybe his whole existence is just a struggle. Hashem likes to see the struggle. He doesn't say there you can be successful, but obviously the struggle is the success, that we're fighting this battle that we go through every day. So we see that 80% of the Jewish people are not observant. And the people that are observant are going through a tremendous amount of hell to stay observant. Whether it's loneliness, whether it's problems with money, whether it's problems with getting married, or it's problems of just keeping normal, or just normal stuff. Just for a person to believe in God, or to be in a healthy state of mind, it's an extremely strong battle that we go through. And why does Hashem make it so damn hard?
A softball question.
It's just not fair. That's what
Have you ever seen a cat that just caught a mouse, what it does with it?
Plays with it.
It plays with it. I mean, this poor mouse is like injured. It's got like claws, dug into it. And it's weakly trying to run away, and the cat lets it, and then it comes it again and starts mauling it even more. It's so sadistic and so cruel. And I mean, read Job, how Job sees God as a oyev, a cruel enemy. Reb Nachman writes in one place that, like those kings, like the Romans, they had gladiatorial contests. They would, in their arenas, in the Colosseum, they'd put in a man and send in a lion or some wild beast, and people would rejoice if they could see the man actually get the better of the beast. They were lusting to see the beast kill the man, but if the man killed the beast, that was really something. And that is like it was Baruch Hu, that more often than not, unfortunately, the beast kills the man. But when the man does succeed, and even if he gets injured and got marks all up, but he does succeed in getting the beast, that is such a joy to the king. I mean, we can't...
So many people fail. I mean, you're talking about divorce, you're talking about mental breakdown. I mean, I'm not asking you for the answer.
We're now marching through the spiritual holocaust of our people, and it's just the same as in the physical holocaust, that the only thing is the survivor mentality. That I know that I'm going to survive, and I'm going to connect with these survivors, and I'm going to look ahead, and I can't look at the side. Those who fall, I'm going to try and chapel marayim. But those who don't want to, I can't. I've got to go weiter, forward and forward. It's about survival now. We're in a war, a mamish a war. It's everybody's trying to deceive us and thinking this is peace and this is. But daily life is mamish a war. I mean, what you're talking about is being a warrior in the war. Only part of the war is that they're all persuading you this is normal life, and you're in New York, and it's okay, David. This is the way things are today, and just if we get some perspective on what has happened to us just in the last 8 years since 2001, I mean, and in Israel likewise. I mean, in Israel, when I first came to Israel to live in 1979, who thought of having security at the entrance of a bank? Who thought about it? There's not a place in Israel today, a public place, that doesn't have a security guard. our lives, and things like the Patriot Act. When you used to come into America, now every time I come into America, I've got to have my fingerprints taken and my eyes photographed by the immigration. Every person who comes to the country now has a standard procedure, and we're living in a changing world. The point is that one of our main things that we have to keep on bringing inside ourselves is our emunah. And when I say emunah, I don't mean I believe in God, but we have to understand this fundamental point that there is one God in two worlds. There's one God, and there's Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba. And Olam Hazeh is the world of struggle. That is what Adam Amal Yulad, man is born to labor. And the more that you strive to labor in the Torah, the more you can be absolutely certain and convinced that your struggle is never ever going to be in vain. If you make your struggle with Torah, then your struggle will not be in vain. I can't tell you how, but I know that Olam Hazeh is the world of struggle, and it's not the place of menucha. It's not the place to expect rest or respite or support or help. This is the struggle. When we have our emunah, when we go forward to our emunah, we know that we're on the right road.
Thank you.
Yes.
How do you explain the lack of hazut in the Israeli population? And one example is now the formation of the government, which normally in this situation should be a united government, but it is not very good.
How do we explain the lack of unity in the Jewish people as illustrated by the results of the Israeli elections, which have produced such divisions that it seems to be impossible to put together a viable government? When I was referring to the Kabbalistic explanation of the universe as having these two phases of Olam HaTohu and Olam HaTikun, the world of desolation and the world of repair. And the characteristic of the Olam HaTohu, the world of desolation, which is produced by the breaking of the vessels, Shvirat HaKelim, is that none of the pieces join together. There's no unity. And the whole point of Olam HaTikun, all of the Tikkunim in the Kabbalah are all Yichudim. Everything now is unity. The opposites and the contraries all are able to cooperate and work together. So this is really the illustration of the depth of our galut. I mean, the good news about all this is that it shows how near we are to the resolution, to the Acharit HaYamim. I mean, one thing has changed in Israel since the 1990s, and that is that the strength of of the Peace Party has really been shattered just by facts. I mean, the facts on the ground are just in the eyes of the larger part of the population. No matter how they voted, a tiny percent voted for Meretz, which was behind this wretched Oslo Asla garbage. And the Labour Party, which was its major champion before Kadima, was not wiped out, but it was really cut down to size. And one thing that was visible in Israel in the Gaza campaign a month ago was not the complete consensus, but the overall consensus in the population that I mean, as Deb Kafal said, the Israeli government always succeeds in snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory. And they took this opportunity to destroy the terrorists, and they completely lost it. But while they were doing what they were doing, they had the support of 95% of the country. And this is very significant because we do see that the force of all the disasters that have happened have started to lead people's hearts in the same direction. I mean, I think that it should be said that one of the beautiful things about Eretz Israel, that it is a Jewish country and a Jewish place, and even the people who are apparently on the outside, far, far from the Torah, mamash have a Jewish heart, and the hearts of those who are Rahmanim, B'nai Rahmanim, the people of compassion And there is, under all of these divisions, in most places there is a way to